In the town of Krasny Kut, in the Saratov region of Russia, FPV drones that carry explosives were launched from a car that looks like a house on wheels. Focus writes, Russians are asked to fix such cases in other regions and report them to federal law enforcement agencies. Russian telegram channels wrote, Krasny Kut Saratov region, report FPV launches from a car as June the 1st on airfields. Observe precautions, the message said. Subsequently, similar warnings appeared also for residents of Rostov and Volgograd regions and then for all rear regions to the east and northeast of the Rostov region. In case of fixation, urgently report 112/102. Specify make, model, color, registration, number, exact location. Demand from Russians living in these regions. Later in Russian publics, there was information that the launch of FPV drones took place from a vehicle that looks like a house on wheels, a dark-colored Toyota based on a truck or SUV, a house on wheels with a superstructure over the cabin. There are solar panels on the roof of the van. Russian telegram feeds said in a description the license plate was allegedly stolen from another vehicle. Russian telegram channels reported a danger regarding FPV/UAV launches in Krasny Kut. At the time of publication of the material, neither local authorities nor the Ukrainian side commented on the reports of FPV drone launches from a car. Recall Ukraine's Operation Spider's Web will undoubtedly enter the history books as one of the most remarkable and best executed covert operations of the war, with potential consequences for warfare far beyond the current conflict. According to Ukrainian intelligence, which released information about the June 1st operation, Ukraine used 117 drones to strike several air bases deep within Russia. Ukraine says it damaged or destroyed 41 planes, including bombers that carry strategic cruise missiles. The drones, which were transported close to the bases hidden in the back of trucks and operated remotely, were reportedly able to inflict damage of up to $70 billion at a fraction of the cost. The operation showed that Kiev did in fact hold some of the cards ahead of proposed negotiations in Istanbul, temporarily stunned the Kremlin into silence and dealt a blow to Russia's capacity to launch lethal missile strikes against Ukraine. It also suffered a glimpse into the future of warfare, transformed by access to cheap, widely available technology such as small drones, in which anything, anywhere can become a target. While NATO figures will likely have been impressed by Spider's Web's success, the operation's effectiveness also raises urgent questions about the alliance's own readiness for a future shaped by similar attacks.
Another assault by the invading Russian army near the city of Lyman in eastern Donetsk region has been repelled. Ukraine's 63rd, 40th, and 45th Brigades, with the support of other units, stopped the invaders who attempted to advance using armored combat vehicles and motorcycles. Enemy motorcycles and armored vehicles, along with their crews, were destroyed by fire from drones and artillery systems. Equipment abandoned by fleeing invaders was also destroyed by drone strikes. Although some surviving infantry soldiers tried to escape, drones prevented them from doing so. As a result, the invaders suffered heavy losses, and yet another of their attacks ended in failure.
As reported on the night of the 3rd of August, the SBU's attack drones visited Saki airfield, 150 miles from the front line in Russian-occupied Crimea. The explosive drones destroyed one Sukhoi Su-30 fighter jet and damaged another, and also damaged 3 Sukhoi Su-24 bombers, according to the SBU. An aviation depot, potentially containing weapons or fuel, was also hit, the SBU claimed. The successful special operation of the SBU in Saki is another step towards weakening the enemy's ability to wage a war of aggression against Ukraine, the SBU announced. The occupiers should remember that they will never feel safe on our land. What's especially embarrassing to the Russians is that they just finished building at least 12 concrete bunker shelters at Saki to house the aircraft operating from the often attacked base. Inside these reinforced shelters, we've identified both jets and larger drones, including the Orion, reported Tatarigami, the head of the Ukrainian Frontelligence Insight Analysis Group. According to Euromaidan Press media outlet, the shelters didn't fully protect the planes at Saki, if the SBU's claims are accurate. The Saki raid brings to 27 the number of Russian aircraft Ukrainian drones have destroyed or damaged since the 1st of June. It's not the worst month for the Russian Air Force since Russia widened its war on Ukraine 42 months ago, but it's close. In all, Russian forces have lost 162 planes and 157 helicopters. The SBU's deep strike campaign, mostly targeting Russia's own deep strike assets, dramatically widened this summer. Frustrated in their attempts to intercept Russian aircraft and their munitions in mid-air closer to their targets, Ukrainian forces are increasingly aiming left of the boom, to borrow the US Army's phrasing, and hitting the aircraft and munitions on the ground before they can launch. On the 1st of June, the SBU smuggled long-haul trucks full of explosive first-person view drones close to 5 Russian bomber bases. Euromaidan Press recalls around 100 of the tiny FPVs, each weighing just a few pounds, swarmed the bases, relaying signals back to their operators via Russia's own cellular phone network. The drones homed in on bombers and other warplanes parked on the base's tarmacs. In the immediate aftermath of the 1st June raid, the SBU claimed its drones had struck around 40 warplanes at Dyagilevo, Ivanovo, Olenia, Belaya, and Ukrainka air bases, respectively 310,470, 1,200, 2,700, and 3,700 miles from Ukraine. But close scrutiny of satellite imagery seemed to confirm just 13 or 14 losses, including 7 or 8 Tupolev Tu-95 bombers, 4 Tupolev Tu-22M bombers, a Beriev A-50 radar plane, and a transport plane. Alongside Tupolev Tu-160s, the Tu-22Ms and Tu-95s are Russia's main platforms for long-range cruise missile strikes on Ukrainian cities, Euromaidan Press says. On the night of the 27th of June, the SBU's long-range attack drones, potentially Ukroboronprom AN-196s, dealt another painful blow to the occupiers, according to the service. The explosive drones struck the Russian airfield in Kirovsk, 130 miles from the front line in southern Ukraine. The SBU claimed it destroyed MiL Mi-8 and Mi-26 transport helicopters and a MiL Mi-28 attack helicopter, as well as a Pantsir air defense vehicle. A reported secondary explosion may point to Russian ammunition stocks or parked drones cooking off. The very same night, drones struck Kirovsk. The SBU and Ukraine's Special Operations Command, the SSO, struck a second time and damaged, if not destroyed, as many as 5 Russian Air Force Sukhoi Su-34 fighter bombers at Marinovka Air Base in Volgograd Oblast, 180 miles from the front line. The 150 or so Su-34s that are left, after several dozen have been lost over Ukraine, are Russia's primary platforms for dropping CAB winged glide bombs on Ukrainian positions. Euromaidan Press says the 27th of June strikes capped a painful month for the Russian Air Force. The 3rd of August raid extended the costly summer into early August.